Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender Show. And as you can see, I'm joined by special guest Christou, and we've been friends for a good number of years now, and we're just going to be talking a little bit about coaching later on, and we're going to talk about grassroots football in general. And if you've noticed, Lee, he's wearing the same top as me. Lee, just tell our viewers and our listeners how you come about that top.
So Mal got me on board with the coaching clinic you set up 2 summers ago now.
2 summers, yeah.
And I was part of the coaching staff there, and we had a great group cohort of coaches. I was just looking to be part of it, and you got me on board, and
that's how we blossomed, really, wasn't it? The friendship grew, and
I've got a club of now, Finn Harps, and we got awards as one of your green cards one year.
That's right, yeah.
And just through the grassroots football, we kept bumping into each other and stuff like that.
Well, we know COVID's hit a lot of us, hasn't it? You know, it's put us all back a few steps, but things are starting to go forward now. Things are starting to get better. Social distancing is non-existent, if you ask me, in grassroots football. Yeah. And the COVID, I still think we need just to be aware and just to keep on top of things if we possibly can, you know, because people are starting to forget about it. I don't know whether you've noticed it when you've gone out to grassroots football.
Yeah, it's starting to be a bit more relaxed in terms of crowds and spectators. I suppose that's where it's being relaxed, but you know, there's a lot of things being missed over the last 18 months, so I think it's starting to become a bit more normal now. It's good to see on the kids' behalf, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, we've just been talking off air before there, Lee, about a lot of football. The season was extended because of COVID and lockdown, as we just said there, and it's just finished now, but all the kids now have gone into summer leagues, going into tournaments, so it's never ending. And I'm just wondering, you know, would it be a little bit of burnout when the season starts back up in September? You know, the kids won't show it at the moment, but will they feel it midway through?
Yeah, I think there's 2 ways to look at it, isn't it? The league officials, team managers maybe, and parents are thinking the kids have missed so much and we need to cram everything in to do with their development, and they've missed out, but they've missed out on everything, and so they're going to be behind on a lot of things, but that's going to be a general, everyone generally is going to be missing out on their development at some stage. So I can understand why league officials and managers, teams, etc. want to go full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just wondering what it's going to be like for the kids.
Well coming into that, my honest opinion, there's a lot of football. I think, this is my opinion, folks, you know, you can all have your own opinions, but I think a lot of you coaches, a lot of managers out there are entering the kids into tournaments, entering the kids into summer leagues, because you're really, really scared of losing the kids to other teams. Yeah. You know, as a fact, but I've been in grassroots football for many, many years, and that used to be the way as well. We used to carry on running teams because we knew other managers were after our players. We just knew, you hear from the grapevine, and people start getting a little, no, I'm keeping them in my team, keeping the kids playing football, keeping the game flowing, keeping the kids running with us. But sometimes the kids just leave anyway, don't they?
Yeah, it's the grassroots roundabout, isn't it? With our Finn Harps teams, I started with just a Sunday, and then I suddenly quickly realised that Saturday teams pop up, and then they will set up a friendly, and then it will affect training, and so it is a very selfish way. But I started with a Sunday, I ended up with a Saturday Sunday, and it was subconsciously because of that reason, really.
Yeah, so there you go. We love your feelings on these and your input. MarathonTextiline.com. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. If you're a coach, get in touch with us, let me know your thoughts about it, and be honest, really be honest. Anyway, we've talked about grassroots football. We'll go into the coaching side of things in a minute, because I know you're a super coach now. You're getting there, you're going up in the grades, as they say. You've concentrated on it, and that's what I like about coaches. There's a difference between a coach and a coach, if you know what I'm talking about. We can have level 1s, we can have higher grades, we go into U4A. What's your...
So far, UEFA B, just because I've been lucky to to spend some time on it really.
Yeah.
I know there's some really good coaches out there involved in grassroots, and obviously their day jobs have took over the CPDs and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm far away from
Here's one for you, from level 1 coaches, level 2 coaches, you're UEFA B, what is the difference? You know, for people who just start, or people who just want to think, hang on, what's a level 1, what's a UEFA B, what's a level 2? Could you explain to us what the kids are getting?
It's just the detail, the level of detail that goes into the FA have a plan to review, so the detail in all of them aspects. I suppose understanding the children and the levels that you're coaching. So your UEFA B is for 11v11, and there's lots of grassroots coaches that obviously coach 5v5 and 7v7, but you've got to understand the game at the final product, otherwise you won't be able to develop them into the stages. In terms of everyone knows football, well, everyone likes to think they know football.
Yeah.
Everyone's had some sort of involvement in football, but you've just got to strip it back and concentrate on what's actually needed, and not just the pub talk or the lads getting together talking about football. There's a bigger picture, not just what happens on the ball, what happens around, and the units, defending in units and attacking units, and it does go into a lot of detail, and I found it really tough. It didn't work for me first time. You have got to have a team that you coach over a project, and the first 2 teams I chose to do the B on, I didn't do very well at all. It was only when I concentrated on what I actually wanted out of it and needed, I then joined Bootle Reserves, and it's from then where I got a cohort of players that really wanted to be there. That made me get stuck into the project and passing.
And obviously now you've become a better coach, and
yeah,
do you see a difference, a massive difference between your level 1, your level 2s and what you pick up on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just the order that you've got to go through, but there's a massive jump between level 2 and UEFA B. However, UEFA B a few years ago was really unheard. It was unheard of for who you knew who had UEFA B, and now I think it's become more inclusive, and there's a lot more UEFA B coaches now, which is great, because then the grassroots kids, you don't have to be academy coach. The grassroots kids are going to benefit from it.
Well, I see that, because obviously when we done the summer camp, we have UEFA A, we had UEFA B, and you had a team of level 1s, level 2 coaches, and it was great to see the likes of yourselves giving them drills to do and working together. So you put a drill up, and they all follow suit basically, so the kids are all doing the same thing, and you can see the difference. I saw the difference. I was walking around, I was filming, taking photographs, but you could see the difference between the level 1 and level 2, so really it is well worth going up and trying to make yourself a little bit better if you want to be involved in kids football for a good few years.
Yeah, definitely. I go and observe coaches all the time. I've been to a couple of first team training sessions at Bootle, and you know what, everyone can learn off someone, so it doesn't matter what level it is.
Learn.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't matter what level you are. I always have a look onto the next pitch. I'm far from being an amazing coach. It's just that I've been lucky to spend some time doing it. Yeah,
and it's always having the kids with a smile on the face. You know when the kids are enjoying it, don't you? How many times have you gone with a coach and you looked and you cringed yourself and you've seen a coach with kids and the kids are just sort of running around in circles? Yeah. Do you feel like you want to go over and help, or do you have to just...
Yeah, it's the biggest thing for me is you've got to have a ratio of your session, and if the kids are not touching that ball for the majority part of that session, then your ratios are all out, and to me then that's not a successful session. The kids can have a really brilliant time, and then the parents have seen this chaotic session and think, what on earth have I brought them to?
Mm-hmm.
Because the parents haven't enjoyed watching it, they then deem that the session is not enjoyable. Parents like structure and like to see structure, and sometimes that's what they think is enjoyable when the kids have really enjoyed this chaotic session, because they've been on the ball a lot, and they've had lots of touches of the ball, the ratio's outbalanced from contact time to non-contact time. So, yeah.
And you're saying about the parents there as well, because they're very, very important, because parents will listen to the kids, and kids, if they don't enjoy it, will say to their mums and dads, I don't want to go back there. And we learned that, didn't we, when we've done our summer camp, because I had loads and loads of phone calls, when are you doing the next one? That's the difference between enjoying yourselves and being disappointed. It's the kids that will feed back and say, not interested, because the parents are telling me, they're loving it, when are you doing another one, Mal? You know, which we haven't, obviously everything's got in the way, but we're really looking forward to it. And then, you know, you be first on the phone, I'll be like, come on, Lee, let's get something done here, you know, let's get these coaches in, let's give the kids something that we really, really look forward to. And it improves them in the game tenfold, doesn't it?
I believe you enjoy it, you're going to perform better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're talking about coaching here, Lee. You've come in to talk about your next episode in your life as well. So you've got some sort of a coaching at Liverpool College that you'd like to tell our viewers and listeners about.
Yeah, so the new club starting off is based in the south end of Liverpool. So obviously I live in the north end and most of my work's in the north end, but we have got some links with the south end. So Sporting Club Merseyside is a new grassroots club. The grassroots club is not run by myself, it's run by two other people, and one of those coaches is a UEFA Pro licence coach, so that is your highest qualification you can get in coaching. And he's been involved in lots of different projects, which is the reasons why I've showed an interest. The ethos of the club is about development. I posted something on social media, and there was a couple of particular people that assumed what it was, and I think throughout the post there was a lot of people that knew what I've done before and defended it. So we used the phrase bridging the gap between grassroots and academy, and lots of people two people took it the wrong way. I just wanted to make sure we're not trying to set up an academy. We're never going to call one of the teams like elite. That's one of my bugbears is grassroots football then becoming, you know, I don't know, Walton elite.
Yes,
and they just think you're not elite, you're a grassroots club. And what we mean by bridging the gap, we find that there's a lot of wrong people involved in grassroots football.
I'll call that one.
There's some great people, and I just feel like the percentage of a grassroots player becoming a professional, I think, is like 0.012% or something. So that there's a high percentage of players there that don't become a professional player at any point of their playing career. So why not concentrate on that percentage of giving them the best coaching that we can do? That still doesn't mean that the best coaching that we can deliver will then make them an academy player. That's not what we're doing. We're just saying, why not concentrate on that percentage, give them the best coaching that we can offer, and make them a better player for whatever reason that player wants. Not what the parent wants, not what that we want, that they want. One of the comments was about money. Initially it might sound like it's more than what it is, but our older players are training 3 times a week. They're training an hour and a half each session, and they're getting a match day. They will get 2 kits. a home and away, and obviously one of them kits would be classed as a training kit that they'll alternatively use. And it works out just about £5 a session. So it's £80 a month for our older players. And at first I was thinking, no, this is too much for grassroots football. But I used to charge £7 a week for my Finn Arps team. And we used to train once for an hour. In the summer we could probably train more because the facilities is just a grass pitch. We got a kit, but we have to fundraise all year round, just to break even, just to get a presentation, just to get a rain jacket. We used to have to fight for sponsorships, and you know what? In the long term, it's probably not that far off what we're actually offering. Equally, we're offering more training nights for longer. There's a goalkeeper coach, which is quite rare in grassroots. I know some clubs have them. We've got age dependent, we've got a strength and conditioning coach, which sounds a lot, but you know, as players from under 11 upwards, they are starting to mature physically, they're starting to mature emotionally, and we've got staff that can harness that and try and develop them in ways that not many grassroots clubs can do. So I've jumped on board and we're recruiting at the minute. We're recruiting across all age groups. The younger age groups are only going to be training once. So the under sixes, say for example, are just going to be training once. They won't be having any match days. We will be thinking of doing some 3v3 type stuff. And then as it goes up, you know, we're training once with a match day, twice with a match day, until you get to an older age group where you'll be training 3 times. And we're really concentrating on personal player development. What that child's player is lacking, we've got the staff that can back it and how to improve them. But I just want to make everyone aware that we're not looking for the best players. Okay, the managers of the team are obviously wanting a good team. The players want to play in a good team. The children are intrinsically motivated from winning. The game is competitive, but we are looking for the best learners. So you might get a team of 10 and you might get players that actually don't want to be there. The parents drag them along because they enjoy it. The players might be there because the friends in school are there. And then the behaviour and the attitude towards training drops. We're looking for those players who are the best learners, who want to develop, who want to learn, who want to be there, and you know, we can work with those players.
Simple as that. And in your defence, can I just say to our viewers and listeners there as well, my nephew was a professional footballer and he's done all his badges, he's got pro licence, he's got everything now, and I understand where you're coming from, because you didn't mention once there how much it's cost you yourself to get that UEFA B. You've kept that quiet, and I know it's a small fortune. So unfortunately, these coaches don't get it free. They have to pay as they go along there to be voluntary basically in grassroots football. So I can understand there's money there, yeah, you have to charge money. And unfortunately, this is the life we're living now. Wherever you go, these hubs are opening up, charging a fortune. Charging a fortune for kids to play football matches. We know that ourselves. We'd all love football to be free, so we can all go out and enjoy it. Never ever going to be the case. Not unless a multi-millionaire comes and gives all the money to everyone, and maybe the FA will just say, we're going to make it free now. Would that happen? That will never happen. So what we're trying to say is, let the coaches go out there, because we've just been taught and we've hit the nail on the head, saying, I've seen development in coaches, level 1s, level 2s, going to UEFA B. That's the improvement, that's the difference, that's what these coaches want to do. and it does make your kids better. So to pay a little bit of few bob extra, you shouldn't be really taking any stick. And as you say there, you just explained, that is next to nothing this day and age. And I'm sure there'd be many coaches out there sitting there going, well said, Mal, and you know, well said, Lee, because you do need to make a living as well. If you're a coach, that is your business, or you're trying to do a little bit of extra money, income. We all do it, we all do jobs.
It's a trade, that's what people forget.
It's professional, you're right.
It's because everyone knows, and being around football at some point, whether they've watched, played, whatever it is, they then demean the title of a coach. It's a massive part of a child's life, and it's a figure. It's, you know, I've been called up and threatened. The kids have been threatened because Lee, can you tell them to go to bed? They're not going to bed. You know, there's so much stature that a football manager has, and a role model. You know, if you don't be in school, you know, can you tell them to concentrate on schoolwork? And it works. And people demean that because they're so familiar with football. But to be a coach, it's a trade. It's no different to being an electrician or a plumber. People have got to put lots of time into it. You've got to keep going at it, and it's a trade. And
I totally agree with it, and I'm sure the majority of people are going to agree with it. So how did he get in touch with you, Lee? What did he do to, if they're interested in all this?
Yes, so on most of the social media platforms, Sporting Club Merseyside has got a website as well. On that website, it will have, if you're interested in the under-6s, up, you can just register your interest, and someone from the Sporting Club Merseyside team will be getting in touch. But we are holding I'm just going to get the details.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
We are holding some trials, and I really don't like to say trials in grassroots football, but because of the club and what we're going for, we are looking for the best learners. We're not looking for those grassroots kids that come and start picking up them rubber bits on the floor and start launching at the mates, and who don't want to be there. And I do sessions for them. I do a Sunday session that are for the players that love football but just not ready for teams yet, so that I am part of those groups. But this one, however, we have called it a trial day. It's an open trial day for under 11s to under 14s, and that's going to be on Thursday the 8th of July, 6 till 7:30 at Liverpool College. But that's just for the under 11s, 14s, but we have got an open day coming up for everyone, which is going to be like fun and full of like football darts and inflatables and little matches.
Well, there's a lot of fun in it.
Yeah, just to highlight the club and to get interest. Sporting Club Merseyside has also got summer camps coming up, etc. But yeah, if you register your interest on there for any younger age groups, no problem, someone will be in touch. But if you are interested in the under 11 and 14s, I'm leading the under 11, 12 teams for next year, so it'd be good to see some people there.
And there you go, and it was brilliant to have Lee on the show as well to discuss a little bit about coaching. So if you've got any points of view that you'd like to get in touch with us on, or anything about what we've been discussing tonight, mal@don'texttheline.com. I'll certainly pass the messages on to Lee, and hopefully you'll take up the challenge there, go the coaching and get your kids developed. Doesn't mean they're going to become professional footballers no matter how much you pay, so always keep that in mind, and Lee will tell you that one as well. So Lee, thanks very much for appearing on the show tonight, on the Grassroots Show. Love to have you back in the future and discuss a little bit more about coaching, because I love it, you know, when kids are learning stuff, and that's what I like to see, kids developing. It makes a massive difference.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. So myself, Mal, Lee and all the team here at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line and Respect campaign, and also Lee Christou, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Good night, God bless.